was nice out. It's a bit dark. I don't know if you guys can tell. At least want to get a couple of loops in before it rains. But by today's topic, it is going to be dressing Kodak black yet again. And pretty much to the point, I was right about what I was saying in the last video I did about him. Like, there's a reason why they locked him up, right? They obviously found something. Now, he went to go purchase guns, right? Well, let's kind of go back for a minute. Let's go back, right? Let's take a brief minute. Let's go back. So, it's obviously the gun purchase, right? Because, you know, it took place during, or no, not even during, scratch that, before he got arrested for driving to Canada to go purchase some drugs, maybe some other weapons as well. I don't care what people say, Canada has an easy system to purchase weapons through, even though they say they don't believe in guns. Then you have him driving to Canada next, right? Saying, oh, my GPS gave me the wrong directions. No, they did not give you the wrong directions. He did that because he knew what he was going to go do. Again, he chose his actions for all this to lead up to now. From there, we get to where he is now. No, they said they found DNA, fingerprints, evidence, right? Well, I want you guys to hear me out first. For anybody that sees this video, somebody's going to say something. But it's common knowledge, especially if you know science, right? How the human body works when leaving behind certain things, right? So, he may have purchased the guns. His hands touched those guns, right? No matter what you do, you leave traces of certain DNA behind in life. You just don't have fingerprints, but you have grease, natural grease that comes from the skin. You have oils that come from your skin, right? You have hair, right? You have dead skin cells, right? Your skin cells, even though you can't see them, but they're there. The so-called wiping shit away, nah, that don't work. You just can't wipe something away and expect to be fingerprint clean, man. Just like if you were to wrap a gun handle and the trigger with duct tape, you could still see fingerprints on duct tape. You could still see that shit. From there, we get to him, yes, beefing. Now, it's obviously he wasn't the one doing the shooting. Now, a lot of people think, man, they can't charge you if you didn't do the drive-by. Well, no, you're still involved with the crime. Whatever part you played for something to happen, it means you were involved in some way, shape, or form. Held accountable, pretty much, for your part, which took place, and the major role that ended up happening. So he was the gun provider. Now, other people's hands did touch the gun. With today's technology, you can separate DNA. You can separate two different fingerprints, oil, skin cells, blood samples, urine samples. If you, like when you guys go to the doctor, and some of us have to get blood drawn, they say don't eat that, drink nothing. You know, we may eat a little something, drink a little something. It will show up, but it can be separated. It can be separated. So, this only adds up to where now he's saying he did this because of an old rival back when he was from the streets, right? How much of a rival have you had? Like real shit, because you ain't a gangster. You weren't out there selling. You were a crack baby. You were a pump faker, fronting. Now you may had a little tits fit with somebody when you were trying to rap. That's about as close as it got. However, you got to the position to where you could leave the streets, but you still chose to keep your business in the streets. And I talked about this numerous amount of times, so I'm not going to go back into it. You chose this. Kodak Black chose what he did. So there's no need to feel sorry for him. This isn't no conspiracy. This isn't cops setting somebody up. No, they just don't arrest you for no reason. They arrest you because, one, you did something you didn't know you did something. Two, they have something on you that you don't know about. To where we lead up to now, even more, this is a very good example of keeping it real gone wrong. This is a very good example of keeping it real gone wrong. Okay, just because, I spoke about this before too. Okay, and I'll touch on it briefly. What I mean by this is keeping it real gone wrong, right? You have a crew, couple of homies, right? You're supposed to be the breadwinner in your circle, which means if anything occurs or happens or take place, one of your homies is supposed to take the fall for that, so you can still be out here making money. That way you can bail your homie out, get him a lawyer, help him with court. Not supposed to be the other way around to where, oh, well, let me go ahead and take this rep. I'll know I'll get out. I got this money. That don't matter. Just because you got money don't mean you getting out. Look at a lot of big time mobsters and street gangsters back in the days. When they got knocked and locked up, they had money, but then they lost it like that. Just like they lost all their stuff. Right? Now, here you are having to sell your house. You've been denied the bond. They just don't deny you bond. They denied you bond because, one, you got off easy so many times. You kept fucking up so many times. You always got a slap on the wrist. Each time they would let you off the easy way. What did you do? You turn around spit in their face in a figure of speech wise. Now, because of that, you violated so many terms of things that you signed, which means probation and rights. Because of you violated so much, and now you do this shit, they're sick of it. That's it. You're being sat down for a very, very long time. Like they're done with you. Now we get into the Bobby Shmurda thing. Like, this is literally a repeat of Bobby Shmurda. He kept the shit in the streets. Look what happened. He lost every fucking damn thing, man. He lost every fucking thing. Right? He may not have been involved in most of those actions that occurred, but he played a role because he was funding everything. Right? Well, once he lost everything, his mother had to go back to working in a restaurant washing dishes, just so she can pay her bills again, just so she can have a decent place or whatever place she can afford on her salary. She has to come up with money to get to work. You can imagine the shame she feels and the disownment. She ain't got the money to put money on your books. And whatever money she tries to put on your books, you ain't gonna see. Because that money's being took by the state to pay for your crimes, your actions, along with the jail of you doing time. Doing time ain't for free. This is all gonna happen to Kodak. But you know what? The shit ain't gonna hit him until he sees his mom back working a job again, a dead-end job, having to lose the place that he got her vehicle of transportation, not being able to put money on his books. It's gonna hit him. And when the shit does, I believe that he's gonna fold. Oh, I believe he will fold. What's gonna equal him to talk. Oh, yeah. Well, now we're about to get into the pending case with the, I think it's a sexual assault charge or a rape charge against a stripper, right? All right. A lot of people are going to say the stripper's after money. When you go to an environment like that, there are rules and regulations that you do have to follow by. They don't give a fuck if you a street nigga with money, a regular person with a bit of money. They don't care if your ass is a high entertainer. You don't touch their girls. You can do private dances and you hold on to the hips. That's about it. But they have not just cameras and not just people watching for security reasons. They have all that to make sure that you ain't trying to do anything that you shouldn't be doing. Right? I'm gonna break something down about Kodak on some real shit. Alright? I know somebody who was like Kodak. And I also know people who are never gonna see the light of day who done shit like Kodak was doing. And a lot of shit that they have told me with these individuals, I ain't gonna mention them by name. I ain't finna do that shit. But you guys need to pay attention. When you're out there being a full babooning, cooning, thinking you got a bit of money and you can do whatever you want, you can do what you want. But there's certain rules and regulations that come with that. the outcome. When you have money, you can beat a bitch's ass. You can sexually assault a bitch. You can rape a bitch, even if she a hood rat or a chick that just look good, or a hoochie mama, even a stripper. I'm not saying bitch to be disrespectful. I'm saying bitch in terms of a street term, of a street slang that niggas like Kodak term to use. A term in a way that I used to use. When you flash money, right? Yeah, money talks. And a lot of these strippers may not be making much at the end of the night because they may not be one of the high-end strippers, right? However, some of them may take the money, but a good majority of them are not finna play the role of saying, well, look, I'm a stripper, I'm not finna be a whore, I'm not a prostitute, so you can't just offer me money to fuck. And that's what a lot of strippers go through. The stripper scene is a very sad scene to see behind closed doors, the actual reality of it. Now, I would say Players Club kind of captured that, but not really. And I can tell you, I know a couple of female friends who I'm cool with, who are strippers, and they could really tell you some shit. And when a nigga like Kodak gets denied, encouraged, and turned down, he's going to take. And a lot of these things that I'm saying, again, these are from people who used to be just like Kodak. Like I said, one of them, you know, he's out here in the free world, he changed, he's in his 50s. But there were some who I was locked up with who ain't probably going to see the light of day, who got transferred to prison, who was, you know, preaching and saying, look, that's how I used to be. You guys shouldn't be looking up to people like this. Because 100% chance Kodak did admit that sexual assault rape charge on that stripper. And when you get denied something, you know, no one likes being denied something. So the thought that goes through our minds is going to take it, male or female. And that's what Kodak Black did. That's what he ended up doing. Well, when you do that, they took DNA tests. And I would imagine, because certain things do stay in your system, like saliva for a while, and even a sperm sample as well. So it's obviously that they found some of them samples. They checked the footage as well. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what about the people that said, oh, she's lying? Well, they were scared to lose their job. I'm going to give an example of that. When I was working in one of the most fucked up programs, which is TRC, behind closed doors, they used to abuse us and yell at us. This is a place for people who are disabled, with learning disabilities as well, and they're thinking we couldn't defend for ourselves. Well, you guys see how I am, right? They said the shit to the wrong person, which was me. Right? So the supervisor yelled in my damn face for no apparent reason and shit. I didn't like it, so I made a phone call, right, back at home, because I'm not just finna pop off, but I'm finna make a damn phone call, and that's what I did. You know, parent came up. My mom's was pissed about it, right? A lot of the employees who I thought I was cool with, who I thought were cool with me, they all seen it, they heard it. But when it came time for questioning in the office privately, they all denied it. They all fucking denied it. Why did they deny it? Because they were scared that they told the truth and said, yeah, that they were going to lose their job. And that's why those employees at that strip club said, what they said because they were scared to lose their job. Then after kind of things settled down, they came out and said, yeah, it's true, she's telling the truth. See what I'm saying? So with that being said, again, with everything that's adding up, yeah, Kodak, he's out of here once it comes time for sentencing. And when shit hits him, once everything is truly gone and his mom has to go work at a dead-end job again and she has to go live in a junk-ass place. Now she has to pay for money she ain't got just for transportation purposes. Shit's gonna hit him so fucking hard that I'm willing to bet, and I'm gonna say this and predict, that Kodak Black, he will fold. And he is going to talk. And with that being said, I'm out.